No, I think one day actually I'm going to screw with you guys. I'm gonna have this thing full of like chicken soup or something. Good, good, good. And sit there and drink a cup of it while you watch. All right, it's another sizing stream. The printers have been busy, busy, busy. Do I spot a package print? Yes, yes, that's what's coming up next. On Rodachan's next drop. I needed to get this from the shop to check the dimensions, to check the size, to check the dimensions. That's one of the prints coming up. There's two prints coming up. The paper here, the paper here is for two of our printers. One is Lei Chan from Hong Kong, who is going to be doing this monkey and crab image. And the other batch, which is ready here, already cut behind that, that's going to be for. I should move my. What do we do this? So I'll move this up here. I forget what the system is here. Get this out of the way here. Right. One batch of paper, which I have to cut right now, is for this print, the monkey crab. It's going to be 8 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the other batch of paper already cut, that's for the famous Koitsu print of Fuji from Tago Bay, which we're selling like crazy. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful print. And that's being printed for us by Kanai-san, the girl who left us for pregnancy a couple of years later, and who's been coming back bit by bit. She's not coming back, she's working at home. But bit by bit, she first started working on small postcard-sized prints, and now she's building up and up and up and up. And she's at home with her mother, back in her family home with her mother. So her mother could take care of the little the rugrat, and Kanai-san can get busy printing. It's really good news for us. Good news for her too. She can work in a stress-free environment. The kid is okay, and she can make a good income. Let me just double check this before I do slice it. That should be 150. Oops, no, I've miscalculated. Just a minute, just a minute, just a minute. Do I get 3 out of this or 4 out of this? The print is, yes, it's 150 millimeters exactly from Kento to trim. That's tight. It's tight. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Let's do this. We are now here in Tokyo, absolutely in the middle of the rainy season. We got fooled 2 days ago by a beautiful, warm, sunny summer day. We were all thinking, hey, that's it, we're away. But no, yesterday was a mixed weather day, and today the rainy season is back with whatever. It's humid, it's soggy, my shirt is sticking to me. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's already 30 degrees, and humidity is 70 plus. Okay, let me get this out of the way, sweetie. Back in a sec. Okay, which one first? We have 2 dimensions here. There's not a whole lot of paper in today's batch, so this is not going to be like a whole long 3-hour stream today. What have we got here? I forget. 10 sheets of Takenaga. I got to document this. Cameron is really on at me. You know, I've been doing things carelessly, not keeping track, but we have a system of documentation, and Cameron is justifiably asking that I keep to it. This is Rodachan. It's a monkey crab at 8. Good height. Okay guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Thursday morning here. I was thinking I might be carving downstairs, but yesterday was a busy day and I didn't get a chance to get that tracing and stuff finished. So that will be tomorrow morning's work, I guess. Today duty calls and it's sizing. This is also the first sizing of the year in the really humid environment here. So we're worried about the paper getting really, really soft at printing time. Eh? We're worried about the paper at printing time getting really, really soft. So I've upped the level of Nikawa. We're now at 55 grams per liter. Probably next week I'll be pushing it to 60, depending on the reaction from the printers, these two girls, when they get this paper. The glue mixture changes. In winter, the Nikawa, the glue can be weaker, and in summer, the glue ratio has to go up. It's about the strength of the paper. In winter, the paper is cold and it seems to withstand the rubbing and all the abuse much easier. But in summer, it's softer and it needs more glue. We also cracked a new batch of paper today, and in this batch we're actually going to transfer the finish of one lot and the beginning of another lot. And I looked at it, visual inspection shows they seem to be okay, no big difference. But we'll see when it gets to the printing bench if there's a difference or not. This is a great test for us, to have two different paper batches coming through in the same sizing and printing batch. It allows us to perfectly compare. Just everything else is the same, just the paper lot is different. So we'll get a really good chance to compare. In recent years, the paper has been very variable, lot by lot by lot. And this is a good way to see how we're going with this latest batch. That's part of that documentation, Cameron's been on it. We've got the paper lots numbered, we've got the sizing lots numbered, everything is numbered, we write down the temperature, everything else. So we're building bit by bit by bit, we're building a nice big database. I don't get scientific, I don't really want to do this. I understand we should do it this way, and I'm cooperating as much as I can. But I don't have the personality to sit there and make all the notes and tables and do all that stuff. It just somehow isn't my personality. It's part of the same thing about I rejected school so much. I know it's wrong. Science is cool, wonderful. But I just can't sit there and do all that writing and numbers and stuff, I'm sorry. But we are doing it. We are keeping track of all these things, and the database is building. So the data is there. Let's soften up the brush. Give it a couple of minutes. I should have put it in a minute ago, but I forgot again. As usual. And it's been busy. The shop has been, again, I keep saying the same thing every day. The shop has been insane. I just can't get through my list of jobs each day. The landlady visited us yesterday, just about closing time. She's like, when will the shop be open? Because we've been in there now. February, March, April, May, June. We're nearly finished our 5th month. We've been in there nearly half a year, and we haven't opened the door yet. And for her, this is inconceivable. We're paying this staggeringly high Asakusa rent, and yet we're not using the space. She's, it doesn't make sense. If I had known it was going to take half a year, this was not the decision. We then would have hired a company to do it. And the money we would have paid them, which we felt we don't have that money, whatever, we could have found it and done it and then been up and running in 1 month. And the increased revenue for the last 5 months would have covered it, of course. But we thought we could do it, and we didn't. Did email about wireless charging help any? I haven't seen that, I'm sorry. I don't know if it went to Cameron or it's gone somewhere else. In the Twitch questions, is it an email? I'm sorry, I didn't see this. I've been listening for Twitch questions. I see nothing new there, I'm sorry. There is a... I don't see anything, I'm sorry. Twitch questions have to have the word question in the subject, otherwise it just goes straight through into spam. If it's got the word question somewhere in the subject and it comes to our twitch@mochahongkong.com, then it'll come to me and it'll ping on the stream, I can hear it. But if it doesn't have that word question, there's just too much email in that box. Okay, I think we're ready to go. I think the brush is soft. Yes. We have a new fresh mix of glue. I just made it a few minutes ago from scratch. The other couple of days I used half of a leftover glue. This is fresh. What else do I need to get before I start? Paper's ready. I'm ready. Stuff is ready here. It's ready. I think I'm good to go. Let's run. Let's roll. Yeah, we can say we built the whole thing. We can say that, but it's a question of are we here for pride or are we here for running a business? Oops, that's going to be a problem. Just a minute. Just a second. One of the cables is in the way here. I can't wash my brush with that in here. So let's see. Tape, good to go. And again, the always every day, the comment, don't grip on the laptop. I'll try. Now, this is thin paper today. I gotta remember, this first batch is thin paper. Oh no, wait a minute. This first batch is, it's the thick one, okay. I got two batches, the thin paper and the thick paper, so I don't know which is which. Let's roll. I see I've also got the tripod stand where I'm going to kick it every time I come here. Stand by for lots of earthquakes today. Looking good. The sizing on this one for the Tago, Fuji from Tago Bay print, that's a Shin-Hanga type print and there's 26 impressions on it. And some areas of that paper get impressed, whatever, 3, 4, 5 times probably max. So the sizing is difficult for this print. The sizing has to be rich and strong, and yet if we make it too strong, the pigment won't go inside. So this is about the most difficult that can be handled. The ukiyo-e prints don't have much overlay, but the Shin-Hanga prints do. Just get the coverage as evenly as possible. Try and make sure the paper is fully moist. Ukiyo-e desu ka? This is the first step in making an ukiyo-e print. Yes, one of the steps in making an ukiyo-e print. We're sizing the paper here today. Will the paper dry with all that humidity? Yes. This is not a problem. In fact, this is cool. This is nice for us. Our biggest problem when sizing is if the paper dries too quickly. We're flooding it with liquid, and in winter, on a really dry day, it dries, and of course it wiggles, because we can't press it between boards to dry flat because it's full of glue. So we have to hang dry it. If it dries too quickly, it really, not creases. What's the word? It gets all shiwa. What's the word in English? I don't know. I'm not sure what to say. It doesn't wrinkle up. It doesn't crease. It gets all wavy. And those waves don't come out even after you finish printing. But if you dry it slowly, then it dries basically flat, or flat enough that we can actually finish it off by, putting it between some weights and flattening it. But on this, today, the humidity here is what? 70-odd%. This humidity in the paper now is whatever, 100%. I'm saturating it with water. So it will dry slowly as I hang it up. It will dry down to 70%. Obviously, it won't go below that, but that's fine. So this is okay for us. It'll dry slowly. I don't have to take special measures to humidify the room or to seal it up in plastic or whatever. It will dry nicely and slowly down to ambient room. Shiwa desu ne. 脱色刷りの場合は、ちょっと待ってね。部分的に色の数が多くなりますから、強いにニカワじゃないと足りないんです。What's that link somebody posted? Who's ripe and full? How I see. Okay, we're talking about Octopus translation. Somebody suggested the other day that with that octopus print, I was talking about doing two versions. One version without the lettering for people who just want the clean image by itself, and one version with the lettering for people who want the authentic image as it was published. And somebody said, Dave, please do a version with the English translation carved. I don't really think I'll do that, but knowing what it says makes me want the print with the calligraphy. Yep. So you can tell your friends, right? Keep a translation handy, and we are going to do it that way, but that's going to be my last priority. There's 8 blocks, and the last one will be the calligraphy. I'll just chew away at it bit by bit. At the rate things go around here, it'll take me weeks to carve that one, so we'll start the regular printing even before I've got that calligraphy block finished. I haven't read this. Oh God, that translation. Is it that bad? Or are you talking about the content? I've seen the content, but is the translation something strange, or just you're aghast at the content? No, it's porn. It's from 18, whatever it is. Is it 1814 or 1834? I keep forgetting the date of that book. Early 1800s. Human beings are human beings. Haven't changed a whole lot in 200 years. What is the date of the original book? Can somebody look at that if you're on that translation page? What's the date the original book was published? 1814? I don't remember. 1830s. I don't remember. 1814. So, okay, so we've passed the 200-year anniversary. I missed my chance to publish it on the 200th anniversary. Did they hang it on the wall? No, it was a book. It was one page in a 3-volume book. So each book had maybe 18 pictures, 3 volumes. So there was, 50-odd pictures. And it wasn't a book with a story. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, turn the page for the story. It's just different stuff. Each page was its own episode. At least the way I understand it. It was just a collection of interesting porn episodes. I don't know, we use the word porn. Whether they thought of it as porn or what, I don't even know. You know, we can't get back into their heads. It wasn't so much that it was something bad. It's really difficult to get a handle on what the mood of that stuff was like. The researchers tell us that now and again the government stepped in and tried to dissuade publishers from putting too much of this stuff out. So there must have been some recognition that this is not appropriate stuff. But I really don't know. It's impossible to get a feeling for, did they feel this was disgusting or... I've got so many cables in the computer today. The computer's moved over farther than it usually is. I don't know about the funny taste thing. This was clearly fantasy. And whatever, there's fantasy in every generation across all cultures. People come up with interesting ideas, fantasize about things. Nobody's thinking this is real. Women didn't go down to the seashore to get the seashells expecting this to happen. It's clearly fantasy. The poetry ladies from Kyoto probably had a copy of this at home, What they will admit to is a different thing. This is going well today, very, very smooth. This is the first sheet, now the back side. And sometimes when I see the back of the first sheet, I can see where I got the thing not so smooth. But this is coming out well today. Yeah, Romans and stuff, of course, we're all human beings, Oh, Pitbull's here. Good morning, Mom. How you doing? What's up? Any chance of explaining all this fuss? There's no fuss. Under the octopus picture we're carving is something that would be considered by some people pornography. It's an erotic print, or it's pornography, depending on your point of view. It's a pair of octopus engaging in sex with a woman. I know, for some people that's bizarrely uncomfortable and they don't want to see it. For other people, it's an interesting erotic image. And the Japanese, back in the old days, had lots and lots of this sort of stuff. When the Westerners first saw it, because it was so different from the kind of erotic imagery that they had seen in the West, this became really a wow. It had really a wow factor. And it's an interesting question now. Should I be making a reproduction of something that is sort of theoretically, technically pornography? I myself don't have any porn on my own computer. I'm too busy to muck around with stuff like that. Here's this guy talking to his mother saying, "Oh, Mom, no porn for me. I don't have any." Is it legal not to print it? If legal, you mean in terms of copyright. This is really old. There's no copyright now. Copyright in Japan, it expires after some artist has died. Copyright expires 50 years later. So it's what we call public domain. It's like the Mona Lisa. Anybody can draw it or copy it. As far as the legality, because it's pornography, but Japan, about the time when I first came here, about 30 or 40 years ago, this would not have been possible because Japan had quite strict rules about what you can show and what you can print. There was pornography, but it was all under the counter and nobody could see it in bookstores and stuff like that. And now in a bookstore, any bookstore in Japan, you can go and buy a book of the old Japanese prints with all these pictures in them. So society has matured to the level that says, okay, this stuff is, acceptable for people to see it. They can choose on their own right whether to look at it or not. So I'm legally okay copyright, and I'm legally okay as far as the content of the image. There may be countries out there who would not like this. Maybe if somebody from Iran orders a copy and wants me to send it, maybe I can't do that. I don't know. This paper is really, really in nice condition today. Doing sizing really actually is so much easier in the summertime when the paper is so soft to start with. New member just asking water. It's a glue mixture in the bin here. It's a mixture of Japanese glue, Nikawa glue, water, and alum powder. Oh my God, too many questions. Blah, 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 blah. A guy's trying to have a porn conversation with his mother, and you guys just keep breaking in. The sizing deck said doing it in summer is physically easier in terms of the stroking and getting the glue and getting the paper moist. But there's a real danger here, and that's mold. This is glue, it's warm glue, it's a perfect, what do you call it? Perfect medium for like bacteria and molds and stuff to grow. If this was a science lab, you could experiment. You could look at this stuff and watch the things growing in there. So I really have to be careful. This is a fresh batch of glue. I'm just going to use it up today and throw away what's left. Now that it's become this warm, there's no way I'm going to try and keep it for tomorrow. In winter we could get away with that, but in summer, no. crate, 32. Who could this be? It could be Ishikawa-san. I don't think so. It could be. It won't be Suga-san. She's off today. I don't think it's Rei-chan. So I think the only option here today is camera. I think quite a bit early though. What if I put it in the fridge until next use? We do put everything in the fridge overnight anyway, but as you know, things put in the refrigerator, it doesn't stop mold. Food will quite happily go moldy and bad in the refrigerator. So no, I've just made enough to use for today, and the last little bit will go under. We could maybe freeze it or something, but we're running out of space in our freezer for prints. Cameron said good morning. Did you hear that too about the freezer yesterday? She wants a bigger freezer.
Oh no!
It's actually full. It is actually a problem. The freezer right now is full because Ishikawa-san is working on 3 different projects. Suga-san has 2. Rei-chan has 1. Kawai-san has 2 projects going, and the freezer is packed.
Wow.
But she just said, "But I knew it." Actually, the problem is her. She's stacking hers up in a single stack instead of splitting it into 2 or 4. She got 200 prints in one vertical stack, and it would go 25 side by side. But whatever. She and I did not have a good day. Hey, sizing is going really well this morning. It's beautiful. It's because of the humidity. It's so soft and smooth and easy. Gonna come say hello? They're all saying hello to you.
Hello.
It's been fun conversations today.
Oh, good.
They were chatting about the octopus. Somebody found an English translation to the octopus, which apparently has blown everybody's socks off. Either because it's a funny translation or it's the first time they've really understood
What's happening?
not what's happening, but that it's not a rape or something. That she's part of this, and
Yeah. Interesting. Huh.
And my mother's in today this morning. So.
Oh. Good morning.
What's this? The water pouring out of the bamboo print arrived today. Do you know what we're talking about here? Oh, Patrick and Chibi. Patrick and Chibi.
Oh.
Soka.
Yeah, that one. Or I know there's a bird one. Bird and bamboo, I think it's the name.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
That
that could be.
also has water for it.
Jed's on here, by the way, Cameron-chan.
Oh, good morning, Jed.
June isn't bad yet. It's going to be this August, September, this July, August. We're just starting this now. This sticky yada. Next 3 months, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Mushiatsui. So,
That is the right word.
maybe I've misunderstood something here. The liquid, not the paper. I don't know. Can you freeze and reheat sizing? Yeah, the liquid. So we could, but I'm running out of space here for freezing stuff. And also, I just don't want to take a chance. The glue itself is not expensive stuff. I don't know what Isawa-san does. He makes this stuff like 20 gallons at a time. He's got a huge, because he sizes all day long. He's got like 500 sheets a day production.
Who is that?
Isawa-san, they last professional sizing. So he must cook it up every morning, I assume.
Yeah.
Use it during the day and then toss it.
Huh.
I suppose. I don't know.
Looks like you've got this one under control. Just you? Is that?
I guess so. Whatever it is.
Yeah. Usually on the
for you
if
to
I
stand there,
I'll
it makes
just be
no
in the
so.
way,
Just be in the way.
so.
I know. So.
It was 37 degrees in the UK yesterday and
Yeah,
today.
it's all. It sees the whole northern hemisphere. So it's everything.
Oh my goodness, 37 is
It's going to be.
unreasonable.
It's going to be a year. This is only June. It's only June. It's going to be a.
I'm moving back to the mountains. Living in the mountaintops for the last 3 years has made me forget what the summer feels like.
Oh, you haven't had a Tokyo summer yet. When did you come down here last year? October. Well, you've been here before in the summer, right?
Oh yeah, I've traveled into Tokyo,
But
not,
you've never lived there.
not lived for the whole thing. I don't know if I'll live this one either.
We had an interesting experience yesterday being at Aoyama-san.
What?
When we were sanding, yours full of dust, both of us were sweating in the holes. And he said, one thing we haven't tested yet is the air conditioning. And I'm like, I think I could go for that. So we finished our sanding, got ready for assembling the cases, shut the windows, turned the air conditioner on.
Yeah.
And then actually, it's interesting, we forgot about it. We didn't think about it. It became so comfortable. We're working.
Yeah.
I went out upstairs to get something. I walk out the door and pow! It's like the deal when you go into a convenience store, you don't think about it, but when you come out, you get hit by this melting wave. It's going to be so nice down there. So we're okay. The printer's room now has an air conditioner once we finish wiring it up. The ground floor is all cool once we've wired it up. The only thing not yet figured out is the office room.
Yeah.
You got to pay your dues for a few years here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep this fan on high all the time.
And everybody is going to clump down into the first floor. Absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
you know, they're going to find some excuse to go
Hey,
down.
come to the print party.
The other thing too, though, is when the first bill comes in, holy crap, that's a big, powerful air conditioner. It runs the whole first floor, and it doesn't come for free.
We must be on a new airline. Someone just said, we watched your documentary on a flight from Hong Kong
Yep,
to Beijing.
I got that.
or the
Yes,
other way
I got
around."
that yesterday in the shop. It's on a, it's the thing. It's the KLM Air France group and all the feeder airlines to it. They're all must be on a single contract to do
Wow.
the thing. He was on Vanilla Airlines. That was the name of it. It's
Yeah.
called Vanilla Air,
Yeah.
and we're on there. Did you hear this? Our documentary. It's playing worldwide, global. As we sit here talking now, people are watching it in the sky, 32,000 feet above the Pacific Ocean. Every day now, people are in the shop. I saw the documentary. They come here because they saw the documentary on the way to Japan. And they're like, hey, I got to go and see that place in Tokyo. And they do so. Jed, are you here? We've been, not had such a good relationship with the guy who made that documentary, but holy crap, is it helping? Is it helping? Yeah, just for the rest of you here, Toru is the guy who made the documentary, and he doesn't tell us anything. Zero. So Jed's comment, I'm so glad Toru is keeping us up to date, is dripping in sarcasm. Probably the easiest place where most of you who see this now can see this, it's on Amazon Prime. If you have an Amazon Prime membership in certain selected countries, meaning English-speaking countries, I think, but I'm not sure. Go and look. It's on Amazon Prime. Royalties. We get no royalties. Nothing. We have no part in it whatsoever. We stood in front of the cameras. Everything behind it is nothing to do with us. We have no editorial control. We don't own it. We get no royalties. They sell it. We don't get anything. We knew this. That's what a documentary is about. This is not a movie project that we were part of. This was a documentary about our work. And just on the whole way that generically documentaries work is you cannot be part of the backside of it when you're in the front side. So no, we're getting nothing from it except, as I said, visitors, customers pouring in the door, and people are buying prints. And the thing is too, this is probably not going to stop. At some point it goes into sort of, what's the word, not reruns, but at some point it'll be dumped on Netflix or dumped somewhere, I don't know. Or after the makers lose interest or lose rights, we can put it on YouTube or something. I don't know how long it takes. Did they pay for meals? They paid nothing. It wasn't that kind of a deal. Did they pay for meals? Somebody's asking. Shit, Toru-san was the biggest skinflint in town. I paid for every single meal we had together. In Toronto, we go to the film festival, we go for dinner, he doesn't have his wallet with him. I got to pay for dinner at the Chinese restaurant. Now maybe that's it. When you're a documentary maker, maybe you're in a penny pinching mood. That's fine. No, he was a skinflint. I better be careful. I'm on live, but whatever. That was the truth. And I heard the question bump. You bought him dinner too. So did I. I bought him dinner every time we ate here in Tokyo and also in Toronto. whatever, it's turned out in the end okay for us. Let me check the question box. Twitch questions. There is a new one there. I don't remember this. Okay, there's a Cameron-san, are you involved in this? There's a question here that says, you said, speaking to me, you said that when Cameron was around to ask if you were going to sell Gampi transfer paper in your Mokuhankan shop. I don't remember if we had this conversation or not. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. There is, I know, absolutely at some point, we were trying to find a Gampi supplier. In fact, Cameron and I were involved with that. We're using Gampi paper here. We're trying to work up the supply chain to try and find out who makes it. And if we are able to buy it in larger quantities, 50 sheets at a time, 100 sheets at a time, then absolutely we will try and make it available to people out there who don't have availability to it. At the moment, I haven't got that far. We don't have access up the supply chain. We are buying Gampi paper at retail. So it makes no sense for me to try and become a Gampi supplier. I'm sorry if I misled somebody, whatever. It's on our list of things to do. And at some point, yes, you will be able to get Gampi from us, I believe. Cameron's nodding at me. Yeah, I'm washi too. We're actually already moving on that one. So I can't do that for you now. I'm sorry. Someone's asking, are they buying the print featured in the film? Yes and no. Some people do. They come in and saying, where's the print that's in the film? But that's fairly rare. What people are interested in is the series as a thing and then their particular favorite game within it. So the popularity of the series as a whole depends totally on the popularity of the games themselves. The most popular games sell the most prints. It's not rocket science there, I think. That's my experience anyway. Jed may have a different, Now this next paper is thinner paper. Should I use the same brush? Let's see. Yeah, I'll switch to a different brush, I think. Which means we have to soften it up. Which means it's a perfect time, because something I forgot to do before I started the stream this morning. I'm going to be back in a little minute. I've got to visit the smallest room in the building. Keep them off by if you want. Okay.
Okay. They speak to me, it's somewhat shameful. My relatives fight over the check. It's a sense of pride. Competing with my sister for rip their seat. That's funny. Everyone's different, I guess. But I think if I brush the glue, I'll ruin the whole batch. Dave shaves so quickly. Yeah, not quite. Jed, I'm glad to hear the website sales are up. That's awesome. Is that print in particular going well, The Young Man Shakes Heaven? For us, I'll type in the email address, but it's info@mokuhankan.com gets to both of us. So that's the best way. And lately, though, he has been so busy, as you're all aware, he hasn't been able to answer lots of emails, so I often answer on his behalf. But I'll go talk to him and say, hey, someone's asking about this, what's the answer? And he'll give it to me, and then I type it all out for you. So you'll get an answer from him, but probably through me. Wow. Cool. Oh, welcome back. I guess you can join.
See, sizing isn't finished. Come on, get into the program. I thought you were
Sorry.
training as a new sizer here.
Oh no! I thought I wasn't allowed to touch the tools.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Well, the big seller for him still is
Oh, Jamie?
Rickshaw Cart. Yep.
Yeah, I think for us too.
Yeah.
I think for us too.
I think
It's the first two. The rickshaw cart and the one we call Fox Moon.
Yeah,
None of the rest are even close yet, so that's okay. Yeah.
it's great.
We're being really careful with the blocks. We're printing in small batches. We print with very soft pigment. The printers are under instructions to go easy and soft on the key block, and so far so good. You know, I think we're at somewhere around 1,300 now, and I can't detect
Where?
any breakdown, any wear and tear. No, so
That's great.
it's interesting. Jed would say the big seller is trademark, copyrighted
Yeah.
rickshaw cart. You talk about the email. Have you answered that stuff, Cameron-san?
Yeah. Someone.
They're asking about what email to use. You've talked about this?
What?
Somebody's asking what email to use. You've
Oh
talked
yeah,
about it?
and I sent ours. And
Okay,
I talked to them.
okay.
I sent info.
Oh, you put it. I see. Okay, okay. I'm
Yeah.
catching up here. All
It
right.
arrived. I got it. Thank you.
Your turn to brush glue. It's my turn always to brush glue. There's nobody else who can brush glue here, which is a problem for us, which we have to solve somewhere down the line. So before I forget, Cameron-san, I had to figure out, I had to make a decision on my own what print is next for Rei-chan. She's doing the Sakura Moyo,
Right.
and I went through the list quickly because I have to do sizing this morning, so I had no time to consult with everybody.
Right.
We're getting low on this one.
Okay.
So if you can do a print job coming up,
Okay.
it's number 28. It'll be for Rei-chan after she finishes number 300.
Any idea how many you'd like to pick?
Yeah, I cut paper, so I should have the answer right at my fingertips. I don't remember. Hang on a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 5 sheets with 8 on each sheet. I'm giving her 40 sheets, 40, enough for 40 sheets. But out of that, she's going to do a test run first. So if you just wrap it into a single print job, I don't know. But
And Sakura Moyo, do you know how many that one is too?
she prepared it. She took paper from the top of the stack there, so I have no idea.
Okay.
You'll have to
Ask her
ask.
what
You'll have to ask her. Yeah. So I don't know. And then Kanai-san is the print job setup or whatever. Fuji from Tago Bay. Ome is sending the blocks. We're sending the paper, and that's just a minute. I cut 10 sheets of Takanabe to her 8, so it's 80 sheets are going to her. She's done it before twice, so it's there's no ramping up. She can just do it. Bang.
Thank you.
Questions. Do others like Asuka-san in the documentary talk about Ukiyo-e Heroes 2 or more about themselves? I'm not sure what you're asking. I mean, in our documentary, there's no chance for Asuka-san to talk about himself at all. He's just commenting. It's just a tiny comment. They poked the microphone at him and said, say something good about David. And he said, something good about David. So there's no real depth there. I'm sorry.
Who was that?
Pardon me?
Who said something good about David?
No, I mean, I don't understand the question. Asuka Sensei, the carver, he has a little tiny, not a cameo. I mean, he's in the documentary. Tori-san went to see him.
Right.
They probably had quite a long 1 hour discussion or something, but there's only one point. Tori-san tried to pick up sort of the most complimentary thing Asuka-san said.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what it was. I've only seen the film once in the film
Yeah.
studio, in the
Theater.
what do you call it, the film festival.
Yeah.
So it just went by zoop quick. So I don't really know what it was, but he said something nice about me. That's all. You know, so. Is that for today? Because it's me and Koizumi-san today. I'm down there all day today.
29.
Tomorrow. Okay, that's the same thing tomorrow though anyway, so. My next few days, I'm nothing. I'm party. So you can just count me out, check me out of here now for a couple of days, starting today. The last few days, great. Sunday, Kawai-san and Nakamura-san took care of all of it. Wednesday, yesterday, the girls took care of all of it. But today it's me. It's me. Is the door open downstairs, Cameron-san?
No, we did like.
Koizumi-san has no key.
Okay.
He's the only other staff today.
It was locked when I came in, so.
Yeah, I didn't think about that far in advance. I'm sorry. Thanks.
No Keiko on today?
No, she's off for some reason. I don't know. Off today and tomorrow. I was told not to ask, so I don't know what that means. Another question. Twitch question box. One more, same person, okay. What is the best wood cut for cherry blocks for Sengaki Hanshita, quarter sawn? There's some confusion with the Japanese words here, I'm sorry. I know Hanshita is the word for the tracing that carries the image. Sengaki also, that's the word, the lines of the drawing. It's a piece of paper. If you're talking about how do we carve the key block, which that becomes, what's the best wood cut, quarter sawn or rift sawn? I don't know what rift means, but just as a general thing, for woodblock printmaking of our style, we don't like to use quarter sawn wood cut from the quarter, because the wood grain is all straight up and down. Almost all the wood we want to use for all of our prints, doesn't matter if it's key block, color block, or whatever, is wood that's cut on the plank and not quarter sawn. I don't know the I don't know the terminology. If you look at the finished plank, it would have the grain lines as curves. If you look at the end of the wood, the grain lines would all be smiles, gentle curves. That's the kind of wood we prioritize. If you look at the end of the wood and it's all straight lines up and down, which is what you get from quarter sawing, then it's not so useful for us. We can cut it, we can carve it, but it will have straight lines in the grain. But the question says, as far as hunch to Singathi goes, all we want for the key blocks, we want the hardest wood possible. The hardest wood, because it's fine lines, need a good, strong, hard piece of wood. What's time? 9 o'clock. What have I got to do? I've got to do the back side of this one. Then we've got hanging to do. Can I move the camera? We might be able to get away with it these days because the new video interface allows the video to be turned off and on. So we'll try this. I have 2 or 3 more minutes here to do the back side of these. Then my next job is to hang up the first batch we did in the next room. And that'll mean moving the camera. Let's try it when we get there. The sounds that accompany the start of your day. Okay, there's the wiping part done. Next is hanging. What time is it? 9:06. Okay, let's try this. I think we can move the gear. Should we try this camera down?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get this. This new video interface is much more amenable to disruptions.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is we'll unplug the computer. It can run on battery over there.
Okay.
The camera doesn't have a battery, so as soon as we unplug it,
Game over.
the video, no, it's not game over, just simply the video signal here will go down.
Okay.
This will be a rainbow bars or something, it'll say no signal. And then we have to figure, we'll move over there, I'll carry the computer, you carry the camera, but once we get there, we have to figure out where to plug in the camera. Do we have a socket nearby? One right there, Look, just what we'll do then, instead of unplugging it here, don't unplug it there, I'll plug it here.
Okay, then we have to
Plug
split.
that into that, and then you got the fan in there. Got you?
Yeah.
No, let's just get sorted out, what are we doing?
Okay.
Then we're wired together, I've got the Ethernet, and I'm wired to the camera. I'll leave the battery power, let's just kill that right now, so the cable isn't in the way. Last time I pulled that brick with me. That's out of the way.
Okay.
That's loose, that's clear, that's clear. That's in the way, but you're going to plug there. Should we try this thing?
Okay.
Okay, guys, we're going to try and move the camera and laptop into the next room so I can hang the paper. During the move, the main video screen here, the one from this camera, will go blank. Don't panic, it'll come back up as soon as Cameron plugs it in again in the new room. Oh, the microphone, just a second. We'll just connect it so that it goes with us. Are you ready, sir?
Ready.
Let's do this thing.
Here we go.
Yo-sho. I've got my gear, I think. We have no signal on the video, which is as expected. And we have a crap load of cables here. My computer is now in its new home. Ethernet looks okay, I think. I hear the camera coming back alive.
Should now have a view of the closet.
Oh, look at this. It's actually come back to life. That easy. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Okay, let me move the thing out of the way. I think that goes down here, I believe. Okay, you're gonna have to zoom out. I think it's zoomed in.
Okay.
Go completely wide.
That's it.
And if you can get it so that I'm going to bring the paper. You have to be able to see the paper. Yeah, I think physically you have to move
Yep,
backwards.
I think I'll have to
You're too
just move
close.
backwards.
Now this cable's quite long these days. You have lots of room here. You can go.
That's the edge of the room.
Yeah, let me go and get the wash machine.
Get you all sick moving this thing around.
I'll come over your head soon. Oh, shit. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
You went way back. Oh, God, I got this thing in the wrong
Too
place.
far?
Wait, no, let me move my video thing out of the way. Looks good. Should we close that to stop that bright light?
Okay.
Maybe you can zoom in a bit more, or can you see where we are? Well, you can see. Oops.
Too far.
Let this scene and then up.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
I think we made it through. Okay.
Okay.
Next job, for those of you who haven't seen this before, is this is the first batch of paper that I brushed starting at 8 o'clock just over an hour ago. We brushed the front side, flipped it over, brushed the back side. If this were winter, I'd like to wait a little bit longer for the moisture to smooth out, but it's really warm, moist weather. This thing is now, the water is just smoothed out all the way through it. I've got to prep. That's the paper up there for Heritage Printmakers. What can I do with that?
Pulling it down now?
It's done, so let me just dump that here. Can I hand these to you 2 by 2 maybe?
Yes.
If you can just lay them there somewhere, maybe that way around so we can get the clips off.
Okay.
Just
Like this?
no, put the clips towards you. No, I meant camera stand. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Sorry.
It's one form towards me.
This has got to get mailed. Just yesterday and a couple of days ago, it's just been too much. He's desperate. He's sitting there waiting for this. Thank you. Now the paper's face down, so we're looking at the back side. We're going to hang them up 2 by 2. So one sheet only gets flipped over. So the top 2 sheets are now back to back. Front side's out. I'm going to pull off now 2 sheets and clip them and hang them up. So these 2 sheets of paper are back to back. So if in the case that they do stick to each other a little bit while they're drying, it's no tragedy. The front surface is not damaged. And it's windy, too windy now. I'm going to close some stuff here, sorry. It's way too windy.
Not as bad as yesterday, though. Yesterday was wild.
The problem now is with that wind movement, it's going to dry in a few minutes, even on a super humid day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to stop the movement. So. Put your fan on, it's okay, nothing, no thunder, but the whole wind roaring through the second floor here, I'm sorry. Anyway, they're going to shut the door for their air conditioner, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Who's in today? Just Dayshank, no?
So,
Ishikawa-san's going to be avoiding us for a while, is she?
perhaps.
Did you have any communication with her after? Did you write back
Tried
to
to
her?
send a nice one back.
But you did you do that or not?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did.
So it's sort of, okay.
We'll see how she is.
Right. Kanae-san wanted this paper Friday, but I didn't get it done last night. I just flipped out. I should have done this last night. Because we were supposed to ship it today. Kanae-san wants it on Friday, and I didn't make it. So. I came back from dinner last night. I didn't have a beer because I knew I was going to have to be doing work. Just sat down on the tummy room for a few minutes.
Crashed.
Woke up at 5:30. Just like that. In my clothes, just lying in the middle of the dining room floor.
Wow.
No pillow, no nothing. Just
It's tired. Wow.
straight through. 10 hours.
Wow.
Just a what? Like what?
What happened?
Yeah, what happened? 7:30 to 5:30. The ceiling isn't that low, you know. There is a stand there that I step on. Dave's head brushes the ceiling, you know, whatever, in his Japanese building. So.
Actually,
It's
pretty
we've,
high
We've got
ceiling.
about 3 meters actually, right? Concrete to concrete. It's nearly 3 meters. They've done a strange thing. It's a 3-story building with about 3 meters, 3 meters, 3 meters, concrete to concrete to concrete. And within each of those floors, they've pulled down 50 centimeters and pushed up 50 centimeters to build a room inside. So you see some sort of fake plastic wood panels above me. There's around 50 centimeters empty space above that. And you can see how much is below the floor because you can see the concrete there.
Right.
What's that, 40, 50 centimeters? So
Yeah.
we've lost about a meter. It's just an insane way to do buildings. It made sense. The building I'm in Ome, the wooden frame building is like this because the structural timbers are not visible. There's a ceiling inside the structure. And they kept the same concept when they moved to doing things in concrete.
Interesting.
And the hotel across the street, of course, doesn't do that. You can see the floor of one room is the ceiling of the next room. I mean, there's ducts and stuff, pipes and things around the edges.
Right.
But it's like just literally about 15 centimeters between floors, the thickness of the concrete slab.
Yeah.
And here we've lost around a meter. So on the same footprint, at the same height, you could put a 4-story building instead of a 3-story building. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be doing that. Who knows, if I live long enough. And if Suzuki-san doesn't. Somebody's finally catching a stream. Not so interesting at the tail end of this one, but whatever.
Oh, it's probably stuff I've never seen before.
Hanging up paper, like laundry time. There's a chance we might be able to send this to Kanai-san today, but I don't think so. If we watch how it goes, if you maybe remind me somewhere in the late afternoon, 3:30, 4 o'clock or so,
Yeah.
if you have a look at it, we can maybe then accelerate drying. Once it's dried that far, it'll be flat. We can throw a fan on it. So we might be able to dry it by say 4:30 or 5 if we quickly chop it up, get the package ready.
Great.
I think Takibin's deadline is 5:30, might even be 6. I don't know. Although to get to
Although it's
Nagano,
going
yes,
pretty
yes,
far,
yes.
yeah.
I don't know. And if you jog me about it, let me make it your problem instead of my problem.
Okay.
Jog me around 3, 4, something like that.
Okay.
It's just a chance we might be able to pull it off. I don't know. There's also another interesting thing. We got the new lot of paper that you put the numbers on the other day.
Uh-huh.
This batch overlaps, so there's 7 sheets from the old batch here and 1 sheet from the new batch.
Oh, wow.
I've marked it, so it's a perfect chance to see how the lots are different because it's the same day, same temperature, same everything, same everything.
Yeah.
Just the paper lot is different.
Huh.
So I've marked those, and I'll let Kanai-san know which ones are different. I won't tell her how they're different, but I'll just mark them with a little thing on the back side. And ask her to keep an eye out if they're weaker or stronger or X or Y or whatever. Because we don't normally have that chance to compare lots.
Yeah. All other variables held constant.
I also kept the last 2 sheets of the previous batch. Instead of using them up, I kept the last 2 sheets in the folder, marked it archive, put it at the bottom of the stack.
Huh.
So I've been doing that for years. Every single batch of paper we get, I haven't used the last couple of sheets. They're all archived. I'm thinking just some future researcher, either us or somebody else, has a nice history. I wish I'd been doing it since I first came here, and I would have 35 years of history of Japanese paper making from the same guy. It will be extremely valuable.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 15 years or so I don't have 30 years of history. So if you're ever involved with anything and you see people, what's this package and it says archive on it, don't use that paper.
Okay. Oh, we just found this nice batch of paper.
Yeah, I used it up. So. Okay, the next batch, the second group of paper that I brushed is not ready for hanging yet, so I can't do that. It's got to wait another 15 minutes or so at least. So we are done here today. We are done. There's still a bit more hanging to do, but it's too soon for me to hang. You get a glimpse, there's Cameron's corner, his high-tech, fabulous modern office. He's in his last few days here, I guess. I don't know, a few weeks anyway. Whatever.
Yeah.
As soon as our shop on the second floor goes down to the first floor, the room that I'm in now is going to be repurposed. And I was thinking that's probably going to be the office, I guess.
Yeah.
This is going to be production space. 2 more printers, 2 carpets.
Yeah.
We go down into that room. And we'll put Nissan on it. You and him work out what you need, what you want. Okay, gonna sign off. I'm up, off. Kneel down here. Here we go. Hey, that'll do it well. Good. There you go. Camera in the background. So that looks through, Nate. This looks through back to the room where we was. We were doing the paper sizing in the third back room of the building. And on my left is the printer's room. Okay, I'm out of here. Today's Thursday. Friday will be, I think, perhaps carving that color block on the octopus print, the one that I was doing the tracing on yesterday. I guess that's tomorrow's work, and it might be the work for the next quite a while.
Cool.
That's it. Okay, we're out of here. I have a ton of work to do. I'm the #1 party host today and tomorrow and the next day.
And
It's okay. See you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. We're over and out. Bye. Are you ready, Cameron Sam? Here we are. Off. Hot mic.
Mike,
There it is. It's right there.
hot air, hot mic.
Okay. Going down. Thank you again, guys.